Overtaking. Even though the number of road accidents that occur as a result of overtaking is relatively small, they often end in a fatal outcome due to the driving at high speed. Participants in these road accidents, apart from the vehicle that's overtaking, are usually those vehicles being overtaken, which during the overtaking are involved in the crash, mainly motor vehicles, but often bicycles as well. Others include vehicles that are coming from the opposite direction or from behind who are also starting to overtake. Understanding risk factors. Inadequate judgment of overtaking conditions or ignoring no overtaking traffic signs. Underestimating necessary overtaking distances when there is an obstacle on the road bend, uphill, intersection, speed limits, oncoming traffic, etc. Underestimating necessary overtaking distance when overtaking long vehicles or semi-trailer trucks. Trucks and semi-trailers are marked with reflective banners. Overestimating one's own possibility of accelerating. In this situation, one should wait with the overtaking. Prolonging or hesitating during overtaking when the driver is in a dilemma whether to begin overtaking, and by doing this, wastes the necessary time required to successfully overtake. Impatience due to driving for a long period of time behind a slow-moving vehicle. Tendency to take lightly the overtaking of the vehicle in front without previously determining whether all conditions for overtaking have been satisfied. Strong gusts of wind during overtaking of a semi-trailer truck. Reduced visibility during overtaking of long vehicles as a result of water splashing due to wet roads. You must be capable of determining following potential hazards when overtaking and to appropriately react. Reduced visibility due to uphill roads, bends, intersections and poor weather conditions such as fog, snow, strong rain, sun glare, when it is difficult to determine the necessary overtaking distance. Oncoming vehicle in the overtaking lane. Vehicle that is oncoming from the opposite direction is too close, and that is why you must wait with the overtaking. If the vehicle that is approaching from behind is only signalizing with a blinker but has not begun overtaking, you can overtake as long as there is no one in your blind spot. Vehicle that is driving next to you and begins overtaking, but you do not notice it because it is in your blind spot. Sign that the vehicle in front of you will start overtaking. Sign that the vehicle in front of you will stop, turn, or in some other way change the direction of movement. Sign that the cyclist in front of you has not paid attention to overtaking. Cyclist has started to turn left, which means that you must wait with overtaking. sign that the vehicle in front of you has reduced maneuvering capabilities or reduced overview. In this situation, you must signalise with your lights in order to let the tractor know that they need to move further to the right. A queue of vehicles in front of you with small distances between vehicles. In this situation, you can overtake both vehicles with a camping trailer because there is sufficient space to do so. Broken lines Q42 are used as a warning that there will soon be double solid lines or as a dividing line on narrow roads where visibility of the road is poor. At crossings, this line can be used as the traffic guideline. In rarer cases, this line is used as a road sign in bridging the lanes. Double solid lines may not be crossed during overtaking. Double solid line is often found in places where overtaking is prohibited due to poor road visibility, for example, uphill roads and bends. At such places, however, overtaking is permitted if there is sufficient space for overtaking next to the line, but it may not be crossed and if there are no vehicles that are coming from the opposite direction. Here you must follow the line closest to your car. If it's not continuous, it may be crossed, but if it is, it may not be crossed. In this situation, overtaking is permitted. Overtaking across a pedestrian crossing is permitted only if you have complete view and visibility of the crossing. In this situation, overtaking is not permitted. In this situation, you have complete view and visibility of the pedestrian crossing and overtaking is permitted. Traffic signs. No overtaking, C51, indicates that no overtaking applies to all vehicles except for bicycles on two wheels and smaller motorbikes on two wheels. This prohibition can be limited only to a particular type of vehicles. Example, no overtaking of camping vehicles, and this is indicated on a separate smaller board that is placed under the main no overtaking sign. The additional board shows that the no passing zone after the sign and the following 6 kilometers applies to buses, trucks and cars with a trailer. End of no overtaking zone. Traffic signs. End of prohibition. Also shows that overtaking is now permitted if all conditions to carry it out are satisfied. Traffic signs. Railway crossing shows among other things that overtaking is prohibited. Prohibition does not apply to bicycles and smaller motorbikes on two wheels. Things to pay attention to during overtaking. When you begin to overtake, it is necessary to make sure a few times that all conditions to overtake have been satisfied. You must estimate how much time or what distance of the road is required to overtake, having in mind road visibility, distance from possible obstacles in front of you, applicable speed limit, speed and characteristics, i.e. your vehicle's capability of accelerating, as well as speed of the vehicle in front of you that you are overtaking. In this situation, you may not overtake.
Checkpoint. Take a pencil and a piece of paper. You want to overtake the cyclist. There is no one behind you. How will you continue? I will pay special attention to the traffic sign. I will slow down and stay behind the cyclist. I will move up to the broken line and overtake the cyclist. I will cross the broken line and overtake the cyclist. The traffic sign, overtaking prohibited, excludes bicycles and small scooters, so you may overtake the cyclist or the scooter. In order to do so, you have to cross the broken line and overtake the cyclist with good distance. Checkpoint. Take a pencil and a piece of paper. You are driving at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour, and you want to overtake the cyclist. There is no one behind you. What will you do? I will move to the center line and overtake the cyclist. I will drive over the center line and overtake the cyclist with a good distance. I will not overtake right now. Instead, wait some more. It is difficult to judge whether there are oncoming vehicles or not. That's why you have to wait some more and overtake the cyclist when there is a better road overview.
Assess whether you are able to safely return to the right side of your lane after overtaking, ensuring you are not obstructing the vehicle that you are overtaking, unless you are overtaking in a lane or road where there are no vehicles that are oncoming from the opposite direction, example on a highway or in a case of double solid lines. If there is no one in your right blind spot, you should move into the right lane. You should make sure that there is no vehicle behind you by checking in your rearview mirror and by looking over your shoulder. You should make sure you are aware of the traffic flow behind and in front of you before and during overtaking, and always be prepared as unpredictable obstacles may appear. Here you must stop overtaking, as you must respect the right-of-way rule of the vehicles coming from the right-hand side.
You want to overtake the slower vehicle. There is no one behind you. Will you overtake now or wait some more? There is enough space, so you have to overtake immediately. During the overtaking, you may not exceed the allowed speed limit. Stay in the overtaking lane until you can see the vehicle in your rear-view mirrors. Then move back to your lane.
Make sure that you can see the overtaking vehicle by taking a look at the rearview mirror. Assess the traffic situation using the rearview mirror. Check blind spots by looking over your shoulder. Overtaking multiple vehicles at the same time. Make sure that all conditions for safe overtaking are satisfied before you overtake a number of vehicles one after the other. Pay attention to any vehicles in the line that may potentially be beginning to overtake. Find the best place to return to the lane among the vehicles you have overtaken. Pay attention to any vehicles in the line that may potentially be beginning to overtake. Vehicles that are turning left should be overtaken from the right side. Pay attention to any potential cross traffic in front of the vehicle that is turning left, especially to any pedestrians or vehicles that are located in the opposite lane and want to turn left, and pedestrians, cyclists, motorbike drivers on the right side of the road. In this situation, you need to begin overtaking from the right side if there is no one behind you, but you also must wait for the pedestrian in front of the vehicle. Before overtaking, you must reduce the speed and hold a safe distance, as it has already been explained in the driving in front of or behind other vehicles lesson. Increase the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you in case the vehicle is too long and doesn't allow you to have an overview of the situation. Increase the distance again in case the vehicle which has started to overtake you has merged between you and the vehicle in front of you. Move slightly to the left relative to the vehicle in front of you if it is necessary in order to have a better visibility and better condition for assessing the situation before you begin to overtake. Indicate your left blinker if the vehicle behind you is too close so that you provide them with a signal of what you are planning to do. Indicate with your lights to the vehicle in front of you in case the vehicle has limited visibility of the situation behind you, van or a truck, or if the vehicle in front of you appears that they are not noticing you or that they are not paying attention to you. During and after overtaking, you must accelerate, possibly changing to lower gear in order to achieve greater and faster acceleration. Immediately stop overtaking if the traffic conditions change, where you are in a dilemma whether you can successfully carry out the overtaking, as in the image. Otherwise, move to the left to the overtaking lane. As quickly as possible, move out of the blind spot of the vehicle in front of you. Always have sufficient lateral distance with the vehicle that you are overtaking. Overtaking should be completed as quickly as possible without crossing the speed limit. Stop overtaking immediately in case of an unexpected obstacle or if you have incorrectly assessed the situation, and it happens that after all conditions for successful overtaking have not been satisfied. Remain in the overtaking lane until you see the vehicle that you are overtaking in your rearview mirror, and then immediately return right into your lane, except if you don't wish to overtake another vehicle and have all the conditions to do so. Make use of the best spot in the line in case you are forced to stop overtaking, in case one of the vehicles in the line in front of you also begins to overtake, and by doing that reduces your visibility. In case it is necessary, reduce your speed and potentially stop in case the vehicle in front of you is reducing the speed or is stopping. Start overtaking from the right side at a low speed with adequate lateral distance in case the road in front of you is free.
Checkpoint. Take a pencil and a piece of paper. You are driving at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour, and you want to overtake the cyclist. There is no one behind you. What will you do? I will move to the center line and overtake the cyclist. I will drive over the center line and overtake the cyclist with a good distance. I will not overtake right now. Instead, wait some more.
Overtaking is always carried out from the left side, except in the case when the vehicle which you wish to overtake is turning left or is getting ready to turn left. In those situations, you overtake from the right side. When overtaking a vehicle that is turning left from the right side, crossing over a solid line is permitted, except if the line from the right side of the solid line is not marked as a special type of line, for example, a bicycle lane. Here you are not allowed to overtake. Here you are also not allowed to overtake. It is not permitted to overtake at an intersection except when A. The road along which you are travelling has more lanes in the same direction. B. You are overtaking from the right side a vehicle that is turning left. C. At the intersection, there is a traffic light or the traffic is being regulated by a policeman. D. You have advantage in relation to the vehicles which are oncoming from the crossing streets. Here you have a good overview and can overtake. At this intersection, you have right of way in relation to the vehicles that are coming from the side streets, but due to poor visibility, overtaking is not permitted. It is not permitted to overtake in front of the railway crossing or on the crossing itself. Overtaking is permitted when going uphill or in a bend only if you have sufficient space in your lane, i.e. if there is space for more than one vehicle and traffic from the other direction is not permitted in that lane. No passing at a crossing, in front or at the railways, uphill or in a bend, does not apply only if you are overtaking bicycles or smaller motorbikes on two wheels. On a road with 3 lanes, you are not permitted to use the far left lane, example, for overtaking except if the traffic in those 3 lanes is one way. It is not considered as overtaking if you are passing a vehicle that is driving in a lane specially designed for those vehicles, example, bus lane. It also applies to vehicles which are in that lane.